The Fieldhouse Museum on Broadway, just south of the ballpark, what we used to call the Eugene Fieldhouse, has boarded up windows, but that was part of a planned window restoration. This was not part of the plan. But on a bitter cold Christmas Eve last year, Museum Director Stephanie Bliss got a call with some bad news. A pipe in the sprinkler system designed to protect the house was causing major damage.
3 floors here, right?
Yeah, so what happened was in the attic, the pipe burst. It came down through the middle of the house, through all 3 floors. There was some water damage to the carpeting on the upper floors, and it all came down into the basement where there was over a foot of water. And sometimes the water came down on a few of the pieces of furniture. And unfortunately, some of them did get wet. However, all of our furniture is restorable. So it will be saved. We will be able to get back to our glory of highlighting the Field family and St. Louis culture, but there is going to need to be some work done to the furniture.
Today, the once immaculately decorated field house has been stripped down. Walls and ceilings need to be replastered. Holes that were cut to help dry out the innards, they need to be patched. But the bones are pretty good.
No, luckily, structurally, we were fine. The house itself is in great condition. It's lasted 178 years.
When was it built?
1845.
Wow.
So it's
The Field House was once one of 12 homes built on South Broadway called Walsh's Row. In 1850, the Field family moved in. Roswell Field was one of Dred Scott's attorneys, and his son Eugene Field became famous as the children's poet, famous enough for Mark Twain to dedicate a plaque there in 1902. But the city changed over the years, and in the 1930s, the owner of Walsh's Row, described in this article as a grimy tenement, started tearing down the buildings for a parking lot or a freight terminal. But there was a successful movement to save one unit, the Eugene Field House, and that's why it ended up standing alone as a museum, with Eugene Field's toy collection one of the big draws. But while the house remained, the story changed. In 2007, it was designated a National Historic Landmark, not because of the poet, but because of Roswell Field's role in the Dred Scott case, and there were now plans for the empty lot next door. In 2017, a new museum was opened, and the Eugene Fieldhouse became the Fieldhouse Museum. New stories, new interpretations, but alongside an old house with old furniture and some of Eugene's old toys.
Yeah, we've been going through everything in our collection. So even if it wasn't hit specifically by the water, we have to go through everything because it became a moisture-filled environment.
The dolls were the most vulnerable of the toys, do you think?
Typically, yes. So some of them have some slight water damage. You can see here she's a little dirty. Yeah, you go ahead.
Up? Yeah.
So she's a little dirty, but we're able to clean her.
And some maybe can't recover.
Unfortunately, yes. Some of the items within the collection, they just they're just not going to make it. They were too sensitive, or the issues with it was just too much that unfortunately are not repairable.
The dolls were the most.
The museum exhibit space has been reopened to visitors, and it has a new St. Louis Browns exhibit in time for the baseball season. But getting the house back in shape will take quite a bit longer.
Oh yes, this is going to take much longer. Ideally, we would be open the historic house again by the next holidays, next fall.
Yeah.
So, or this coming fall, I should say.
Yeah, so there will be Christmas at the Field House again, right?
Yes, once again, of course. I mean, Christmas is our favorite time. We decorate to the nines.
This is expensive stuff. You're covered by insurance, I'm guessing, but does it cover everything you need?
Well, as we know, insurance only goes so far. So no, it won't necessarily cover all of our costs to do reparative work to the collection, to the house. We were in the middle of doing a window restoration prior to that, so we also have those bills that we are trying to kind of fundraise for. And
The Fieldhouse Museum has a small staff and gets no public funds. So that's another part of this challenge.
we do have a great community here in St. Louis that does believe in our history and that does believe that we should preserve for the next generation. So I think that they will help us and they will support us and we will have a great future. And so yes, it has been a struggle, but we have to stay positive, because if we sit in that sorrow, we're not gonna move forward, and we have to keep moving forward.
For Living St. Louis, I'm Jim Kircher.